Hi, I'm Jen from Acadian Accounting Education, and today we are going to practice creating customer statements. So if you would like to grab a copy of the exercise, be sure to click on the link in the description, and let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and create those statements. Now, this exercise is coming from our Level 1 ProAdvisor certification course, which if you would like more information about that course after we go through the exercise, be sure to click on the link in the description. But let's dive in and read through today's scenario. Craig has asked you to send customer statements. There are three kinds, so let's take a look at each. Now, you'll need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. If you are not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link in the description. I have the sample company here on the left side of my screen. Once you sign in, this is what it will look like. So let's go ahead and get started with the exercise. Craig has noticed that several of his customers have outstanding invoices. He has asked you to send all of them a statement showing their current balance. So, how would you do this? Let's find out. Now, to start, you'll need to go from the left navigation bar, hover over sales, and then select customers. So, the left navigation bar is over here. Hover over the sales, and then go ahead and select customers. Once it comes up for us, we are going to click on the orange part of the money bar to select only those customers with outstanding invoices. So that would be right here. Go ahead and click on this. It just filters that out for us. Now we want to click on the checkbox at the top of the column to select all of the customers here. So go ahead and do that. If you remember, Craig wants us to send this to everybody with outstanding invoices, and so this is the way to do it. So we're clicking on this checkbox to select all, then we click on Batch Actions, and then we want to click on Create Statements. So go ahead and click on that. And once you do, you will see this appear for you. Now you'll notice here in the statement type field, it is currently saying balance forward, which is what we want. If it had been used, a different statement had been used prior, it would be reflected here. So that's why it's saying it right here. So just in the future, if you're doing this in client books, just be careful to make sure that that what it says here in the statement type field is exactly what you are looking for. Now, in a real life scenario at this point, you could just click on the green Save and Send button. But for the purpose of this exercise, we just want to take a view of what the customer statements would look like when they're being sent out. So in order to do that, we're going to click on Print or Preview on the bottom of the screen. So go ahead and do that. And once you do, you can see, you can scroll through this and notice that there is one statement generated for each of those customers, and it's showing the balance due at the bottom of it. And so you can take a look at through these if you would like. We are going to continue on and look at one of the other type of statements, but this is the balance statement. So let's go ahead and click on that X out of this, and then click on the X once more so that we get back to the customer list. All right, so Red Rock Diner received their balance forward customer statement and asked for a breakdown of which invoices were included in the balance due. So, how would you send that to them? So let's take a look at Red Rock Diner. We're going to scroll down until we find them. Now, the customer list is in alphabetical order right now, so it'll be down here in the R's. Here it is. We want to click on the down arrow next to the receive payment. Click on that down arrow and then go ahead and select Create Statement. Now, this is the same kind of screen that we looked at before, but we need to adjust that statement type. So click on the down arrow, and this time we are selecting Open Item. Now you may get a button that you may or may not see an apply button here. Sometimes things change around in the sample company. They'll go one way and then they'll go back and then go back and forth. So it is possible that on your screen it will say apply. But if you don't see a button that like me, I don't have a button on mine, you want to move on to the next step. It's not going to affect the rest of the exercise. So if you do see an apply button, go ahead and click on it. Otherwise, we're just going to take a look here. Now, again, in real life scenario, you would normally just click on save and send and it would go directly to the customer. But for this exercise, we're just going to take a look at what this statement looks like. So let's go ahead and click on print or preview in the middle bottom of the screen once again. And you'll notice here that this statement shows which invoices are still outstanding for Red Rock Diner. So it gives them enough detail that they should be able to go back and figure out what is going on. And then the total amount due is at the bottom. All right, so now let's go ahead and close out of this preview. And then we're going to close out of this one more time so that we can go back to that customer list to look at our final statement. Now, Amy from Amy's Bird Sanctuary received her balance due customer statement and called you because she doesn't understand why she still has a balance owed. She said she paid several invoices and received a credit for some work that was damaged. So let's take a look at what happened for her account. On her line, we're going to once again click on the down arrow. So her line is at the very top here. So click the down arrow on the far right side and then go ahead and select Create Statement. This is a transaction statement that we want. So click on the down arrow in Statement Type field and select Transaction Statement. If you do have that Apply button, go ahead and click on Apply. But if not, like me, then we can continue on. Now, because Amy's transactions are older than just this last month, you will need to change the date range to capture the old transactions on the invoice or for the statement, excuse me. In the start date field, let's adjust this to choose the date that is 1 year prior to today. Now, your date may be different than what you see on my screen, but you want to click on this calendar icon. And for me, it is going to be March 3rd. Your date may be different. Once you find it, go ahead and click on it. And then once you click on that, just click anywhere here. And once you do, you will see that it has now been selected and that the total balance is showing here. So we've definitely captured the data that we needed. Once again, in a real life scenario, you could just click on save and send, but since we can't actually send this here from the sample company, let's take a look at how this statement looks. Go ahead and click on print or preview. And you will notice here from this statement, Amy did indeed pay for the invoices in full 1025 as well as this 1001. And she did receive a $100 credit. However, the total of the invoice for 1021 was $459. The $100 credit would have brought it down to $359, but she only paid $220. You can see that right here. So that's why it is still showing as an outstanding balance for her. So hopefully this would be able to give Amy some clarity as to what was going on. And then, you could send it to her and you can always follow up and answer any questions that she had if this were a real life scenario. So let's go ahead and close out of this. We're just going to click on the X on the top right corner. I'm going to do it again so I get to the back to this customer list. And that's it. That is how you would create customer statements. Now, if you like this exercise and you'd like to do more like it, or you would like more information about that Level 1 ProAdvisor certification course, be sure to click on the link in the description, and I will see you next time.